What's going on? Welcome back to Trending Stocks. Today I want to talk to you on Virgin Galactic. They recently did have their Q4 earnings, so I want to go over some of the highlights that you need to know as well as what the current data points are saying. Before I get into any of that though, make sure to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. Always greatly appreciate that. And with that said, let's get right to it. So right now it is down 1.14%. We're currently in power hour, very low volume, so 5.26 million shares have been traded. 8.35 is the average. So ever since their earnings, which did come out on Tuesday after hours, like big money still hasn't necessarily been getting into Virgin, because despite their earnings being somewhat okay, because they did meet expectations in some regard, big money just isn't really incentivized to get into Virgin at this stage. So it kind of does suck a little bit, but when it comes to their earnings, they came in line with the revenue, so they hit that mark because their forecast was 3 million. Aside from that though, they do have sufficient amount of cash, so they have just shy of about $1 billion in cash and cash equivalents. And so based on their burn rate, I think they were estimating that it's going to be tail end of 2025. So that's when they will need to dilute. Based on my interpretation, I think it's going to be the tail end of Q1 2025. But then again, what do I know? Their expenses did also go up quite considerably, but that's kind of anticipated at the same time. So I feel like a lot of the broader market did take it out of proportion. I think a lot of people at the same time were factoring in and building into the stock price a surprise beat on their revenue, similar to what happened in Q3. So it didn't really come to realization, but overall, it is what it is. I think they also did lay the foundation that bigger and better things might be coming, but that won't be anytime soon, of course. So like I've said in the past, one thing that's really struggled or caused Virgin to go down is short-term catalysts, because in order for the market to really incentivize buying, you need some reason, you need a catalyst. And Virgin, yeah, they're doing fairly good operationally. There isn't really anything dazzling, at least in the short term, to get people to get in. But then again, like I said, that's just my own interpretation. But then when it comes to the market, bigger money not necessarily getting in kind of does match that as well. Aside from that though, there's been only one analyst rating, and that was $2.50 done by TD Cowen, Oliver Chen, who does have a 53% success rating. So as far as growth, yeah, $2.50 could be very much easily achieved. PCE numbers did come out today in line with the forecast. So I think this is where now the market's assuming that there is going to be rate cuts potentially as early as May. So that's kind of back on the table. A lot of hype associated to that. So if there is rate cuts, then yes, Virgin's definitely going to piggyback off of that and go higher. As far as what shorts have been doing over the last little bit, right now they're returning 32,000 shares, 22.73% of the free float is being shorted, and 83.27 million shares overall are being shorted. Utilization is 79.51 and cost to borrow average is 0.94%. So definitely the metrics is not there for Virgin to be a short squeeze play. So kind of just be aware of that. And through Interactive Broker, short availability does indicate around 300,000 shares is available to be shorted. So quickly moving on though, looking at their actual options for right now, with 20 minutes left in the trading day, there's $63,000 in calls being purchased versus 47 in puts. So dollar value wise has gone down dramatically over the last several weeks. So a lot of people aren't necessarily looking at Virgin. Of course, at the same time, you're seeing a lot of AI plays just skyrocket to the moon. So I think that's getting the brunt of the attention, as well as cryptocurrencies, miners, and whatever else. So Virgin's just getting kicked to the curb, as unfortunate as that is. And sentiment wise, 62% of all the options being done today are bearish. So people are anticipating for Virgin to continue to trend down. Of the call options that are being purchased though, there's a consensus for it to be above $2 over the next couple of weeks. And looking at puts, it is anticipated for it to be sub $1.50. So kind of evenly divided as far as risk versus reward at this stage. But looking right here, if you are looking at trading Virgin with it at $1.73, it is exactly on this S1. So you'll really want to watch for this S1 to hold. And if it does break below that, then anticipate between $1.54 and $1.72. But again, just kind of watch that. So as it stands, 202 is going to be that pivot point for Virgin, and then $1.54 is going to be that next strong line in the sand for the support. So that's kind of some short-term moves, so just take a mental image of a lot of the support and resistance points. But moving on, looking on the actual technicals, so looking at the 1 year, just moving in a little bit closer. So right now we did transition into the lower percentile of the Bollinger Band over the last couple days after their earnings. It has been struggling. It's been attempting, but it's been struggling to stay in the higher percentile. Looking at stochastic, you do see it kind of at 47, so it's neutral, not really overbought, not really oversold, and there oddly isn't really any defined trend right now. So I think all in all, it is waiting for something to happen, whether it be specific to Virgin or more data points coming out on a larger scale to move Virgin. So right now, technically, the market's factored in and priced in their recent earnings and their future guidance, which again hasn't necessarily been the best, but I think it is what it is at this stage. A very speculative stock, and I think right now the market just isn't really incentivized to kind of prioritize that. Looking here, number of retail investors have been getting out. It looks like ever since the 26th, so the day prior to their earnings. Maybe they had last minute jitters about their earnings, I'm not really sure, but all in all, the technicals are not really looking the best. If anything, it does indicate that it's going to continue to trend down and touch that $1.54 mark, which, like I kind of indicated, is this S2. So let me know your thoughts on Virgin. And so even though the fear and greed index is very high right now at 79, so under the extreme greed, Virgin is just lagging. So it's back to doing what it used to do over the last little bit. So what's your thoughts on Virgin in the comments below? And for those of you that did listen into the conference, what was your thoughts? Do you think that it was very stimulating and really incentivizing for buying, or did it kind of just make you question your investment? What's your thoughts? Don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. I always greatly appreciate that. And today is the last day for you to take advantage of this promo. So simply sign up for an account with Moomoo, throw $100 at it, and you get 5 free stocks. Each stock is valued up to $2,000. So take advantage of this. Link in the description below and also the comments. With all that said, appreciate all of you watching.